The house that my dad was assigned to work on, like while they were doing construction, people kept on showing up at the house, walking in, walking out, and 3 days in, they learned that the guy was a meth dealer. And so then they were like, oh, you don't meet our criteria where we're not supposed to be building like a porch for a meth dealer. And
Yeah, that thing's about to blow
they had
up.
to change homes.
So he had a half-finished porch.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist.
Oh, come along, we're ready to roam. With Donnie and Chaps, you'll feel right at home. From the hills to the seas, to the strange and bizarre, Drop a Pin takes you places both near and far.
Welcome back to Drop a Pin. We've got two very special guests, one reoccurring, one on Drop a Pin for the first time, Nick and KB.
Who's the reoccurring?
KB.
KB.
I was on this program.
Well, you were on this program, but the segment got cut because the audio was dog shit. So
That's why.
It was not your fault. It was a great segment. I was just like, I cannot release this to the masses. So
No, it's fair.
Yeah, you were on for a Getting Cultured segment.
That's right.
I kind of forget the question you asked, but we'd be happy to answer it now.
I think mine was about me being a pussy in Europe.
And I think you were also, because you were like, I know your number one bucket list destination is Japan.
Yes.
And you were wondering kind of just how you'd fare with the language barrier and everything, and we kind of just like reassured you that I think you'd do just fine.
Yes. Yeah, that was helpful because that's the one hurdle for me to go.
But
other than the
you don't really
insane
like flying,
price.
right?
I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better.
I was going to say, I'll take a cargo ship with you.
I looked into that.
Yeah.
I looked into that, and it takes like 2 months.
Yeah, well, whatever. What are you doing anyway?
But they can't guarantee service at any point in time.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine regretting it 2 days in.
Yeah, like, this sucks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But the people you would meet would be absolutely incredible. Like wild cards that work on cargo
It
ships.
has to be.
Convicted
Yeah,
felons.
that's a life.
That's a dangerous job, no?
Probably, I would
Sure.
imagine.
They fall.
It's one of those jobs that you work like 3 months straight and then you have 3 months off.
Yeah.
Which that seems kind of nice to me.
Yeah, but those are the type of guys that get into a town, have 3 months off, and just ruin the entire city.
They ravage, they
Yes.
pillage,
They
ruin
do
the
what other
local
Bells
bar
Vikings do,
scene.
yeah.
Drink every drop of
Yeah,
they-
style in the city.
They hone out every wife that just got done with an argument with their husband and just
Yeah.
gets them.
yeah.
Those guys get married women.
I met these guys from New Zealand and they had traveled to the U.S. to do construction, I think. And they had a project that they had to get done and then they could have just free time. And so they all started to do meth and just work like 24 hours a day. And the project was supposed to take them 2 months. They got it done in 2 weeks.
That's a trucker move.
and then just
So then
rage.
more
the rest-
time to do meth. Addicted.
Well, now we got a built-in
And then they do the meth, and now they're like, wait, I want to do more work. Give
Yeah,
me more.
and then before they know it, they have a damn good career on their hands.
Yep.
And their next project should be in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, yeah? Is that a methy place?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I would.
I've never experienced meth usage around us.
Well, you've experienced people doing Adderall around you. That's diet
yes. Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
been times where I'm like, oh my God, I'm a fiend.
meth. Yeah, no, because I accidentally tried meth before, and
Yeah.
it was like probably taking 15 Adderalls at the same time or something.
Whoa.
Jeez.
But, like, don't you get the overwhelming urge just to pound off?
Pound off for hours.
That's what the meth subreddit says.
They said it's the best thing ever.
They-
And even like the people who are like miserable posting on Reddit at the ends of their life are like it's worth the pound off.
That sounds awesome.
Hours of pounding off.
Yeah, they
And there's
just sit at home and pound.
Just laser focused into pounding off.
I would absolutely enjoy that.
Every stroke
That's
feels
a
like
Saturday. Yeah.
Every stroke feels like a bust.
it's like a bust.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I
No.
need to do meth.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, when I take Adderall, I think I'll get really horny at first, and I'll go through this really where I'm like, fuck, I got to pound off.
Yeah.
And then it just completely kills my sex drive for a bit.
I can't get
Yeah.
drunk when I'm on Adderall.
Yeah, you just,
Or I get drunk way slower.
Oh, I feel like a golden god when I drink on Adderall.
Yeah.
so you can keep on
But
drinking.
not yet. You don't get as messed up.
But this is an anti-drug show.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Anti-drug show. Now, I
But the
guess,
pounding off.
No, it's
Now
definitely
we're very-
a pro pounding off show.
And a huge cock show.
You have big dick, Donnie.
You're a cock
guys-
guy.
Yeah, I'm a cock guy. Yeah.
Oh,
No
okay.
way.
I thought you guys were talking.
Yeah, I like to. I'll look at them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I
you-
should have a OnlyFans where I just judge Stooley's dicks.
Yeah.
That would work.
That would work.
Yeah, people would send them in.
Yeah.
I've heard stories.
I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna open an OnlyFans where I'll rate dicks.
I forget who I asked. If your dick was like, I took a photo of it, and then like I cut it out. There was no other background. It was just a dick, white background. I put it next to 1,000 dicks. Can you point out your dick? Could you find it?
Absolutely, because I get this little bump like right below the
Uh-oh.
head, so I would look for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,000 is insane.
1,000
I would
I
need,
think-
like 8.
Yeah,
You need-
I could pick it out of 20.
Yeah,
Like
20.
8 or 20.
We did the same.
I don't have a
thing.
rare dick by any means.
Kate and I used to talk about the same thing, but
That's
a
good.
butthole
I think.
lineup.
Yeah?
I don't think you want a rare dick, or it depends if it's rare in a good way, but you don't want like a
Rare
like
in a bad
really
way.
weird dick that
Like-
like it's gonna make a girl do a double take. Like,
Well, I feel
seen that
kind of
before.
good.
Yeah.
That happened to Jay Williams. It came out when he was with one of the other women that was on Fox Sports, and he had a photo leaked, and it was just an absolute hammer of a head.
Oh,
Head.
Just like probably 70% bigger than the shaft.
whoa.
Like super thick. It looked like one of those trees that are in
A baobab.
A baobab.
factory at Willy Wonka.
Oh, Willy
Like,
Wonka.
like from a
Yeah.
Dr.
Whose
Seuss
dick looks like a
book.
baobab?
We bring this up so much. I get to talk about baobabs like twice a month.
Baobabs are from
Madagascar.
boom, nailed it. Yeah, they're-
Maybe there's this island off of Yemen that I'm fascinated with.
They have
that I think
baobabs?
you should
My
look
cousin
into.
has been there.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but it has like some of the most unique like
Yeah.
geography and geology.
Yeah.
Do you have a whole
What is
family of
baobab?
travelers?
What is that?
It's a real thick
I
tree.
don't, but my cousin, she's dealing with cancer right now, so I haven't asked her on the pod. But she lived in Yemen for a year, starting like their first English language newspaper, and then ended up marrying the British ambassador to Yemen.
Whoa.
Yeah, so she'd be
That's interesting.
Get.
Yeah, she would be great to have on the pod. I wish her the best with her treatment. But back to you guys. I guess we decided to drop a pin in the Appalachia region. Maybe we'll talk some Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's considered the capital of Appalachia. But also we can just recap some Rediscovering Americas and stuff.
Yeah, we have hours together, Donnie.
Because I've probably done my most domestic travel with you two.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Same with me. and you.
Same with me. Yeah. Yeah, because before that, before you came into my life, I had done single-digit flights in my life.
Damn. And like now you've been to Tijuana, you've been to Alaska.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you. But while it's happening, I would never say that.
Yeah.
Tijuana, I was scared.
Yeah, I think our first time ever flying together, when we landed in New York, like the wheel fell off the plane.
Plane went off the runway, like off the side, right?
Yeah, or something. There's something like the landing gear like broke.
Yes.
Upon landing.
I thought, but like that would have been a dream, because as much as afraid of flying that I am, that made no sense. I always wanted to go down that inflatable slide.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yes.
a little consolation prize.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the only reason they do it.
yeah. There was a really gay flight attendant who
Well,
was
you didn't
like,
need to say that.
Just said male.
A male play. We would have known.
You need adjectives.
a very flamboyant flight attendant who just got like fed up with his job and was like, "Fuck it, I'm out." Pulled the while they were still on the runway, like ejected the slide and just slid down and quit.
On a flight you were on?
No. But
Oh.
this was like a big story in the news.
How are you on so many
He was
crazy
like,
ass
fuck you, I'm out. Pulled the slide.
Slide.
and
That's
and slid
amazing.
down to
Activated the
retirement.
slide.
Do you think you can get criminal charges for that?
Definitely.
Yeah, he probably got
Yeah.
a fine or something. But yeah, I wanted to briefly touch upon the 3 vids that we filmed before Rediscovering America, because those are less well known.
Yeah.
But they were all filmed over COVID when like no one was traveling. But I was down in South Carolina riding out the pandemic and had to drive back to Massachusetts. And I stopped in Wheeling on the way back.
That's right.
And you guys gave me the full tour of Wheeling.
You did it all.
Yeah.
Everything there is to offer.
And at the time, I think you guys probably lied about like half the things that we saw.
That
there.
used to kind of be our thing.
but yeah.
But no, I
Which
don't.
sucks because like we didn't have to, because there's enough
No,
like,
yeah, that's because like
information that's
half
so
the
funny.
things were
yeah.
100% real.
Like we did go up to an insane asylum.
Yeah, there was an abandoned insane asylum that I think was like haunted.
Definitely.
You guys have like a spot there. It's called like a grub and rub.
That's real.
Yeah.
Where you
that
can
was real.
you can eat and get a massage at the same time.
Oh,
But they opened it over
Fantastic.
COVID. They opened it over COVID and like no, where you can't touch people, and it did not last very long.
Yep.
It was called a
Open that
grub and
back
rub.
up.
Yep. A grub and rub.
I've never been.
You guys had
haven't
like a
been to that.
Friends themed barbershop, which
That's
is real.
true as well.
But
That's where I got my. It was called Friends.
yeah.
They just took the
Same
Friends
logo. Yeah.
You could do that in real.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, there's no copyright law.
No, it's like high school football helmets. You could take whatever you want.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lies you told me, which I believed at the time, was they have a strip club downtown called Dangerous Curves.
That is true.
Dangerous Curves. Is that like an auto store?
No, it's not. It's a strip club.
And yep, and that is true. And it is NASCAR themed, right?
Yes.
To a very light extent.
Like there's like racing stripes on the inside and like finish. They play every NASCAR race.
What did we tell you?
But you told me that it was also only for plus size women.
But that is true, but
Probably
not
true.
by choice. That's by supply.
Maybe it's a curves gym and a strip.
We
club
lied
at
about the
same
names
time.
of the strippers.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, they got a stripper called Whale Earnhardt.
Yep.
And the women there just love Kyle.
They do. Whale Earnhardt.
Blobby Labonte.
Lobby, yeah.
Danica Fat Trick. Denny's Hamlin. Blobby Labonte.
I forget
Yeah,
what
they just took male names.
they took male names. I think then that's where we ran out. So we were like fucking Whale Earnhardt Jr.
And I was a fan of Wheeling. I think it looks cool because it's nestled between all these like hills,
Yeah, it's like a
mountains.
steel town.
Yeah, a steel town. There's also Wheeling Island. So now we're passing on to Wheeling Island. Wow. Is this the Nantucket of West Virginia?
You could say that. It's the little St. James of the Ohio River.
Oh,
Which was like, that's the rough part of town, right?
yeah. It has these beautiful Victorian homes.
But then like half of those homes are kind of falling apart.
That's true.
It's a little decrepit, but yeah, the homes in Wheeling are beautiful. The island it has a resort.
It had
If you said like I'm going to an
Greyhound track?
island resort,
It's called the Wheeling Island Resort.
That sounds
it's
enticing.
it's a casino. It's a dog track.
Whoa, is that the casino?
Yeah,
Has dog racing been banned throughout the U.S. or
it's
only
allowed
in some
there.
states?
Still doing it, yeah.
it's still
They
allowed
do it
there?
in Jacksonville too.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's really it's a fun way to spend an afternoon.
Oh yeah,
It is.
no, it's huge.
$20
in
will
Ireland.
like last you a while.
Okay, yeah. My wife's grandfather, his job was taking care of the greyhounds that would.
Those dogs are
race at
treated
the
like
local
kings.
track.
And then a
Yeah.
lot of people around town adopt them when they retire. So a lot of people have greyhounds around town.
Yeah, so I think I am I guess pro greyhound racing. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but we went there like a day before my wedding, and I'll bet on the races. It was
Oh, yeah.
a good time. Now I remember I tried alligator in
yeah.
Wheeling randomly. They were just selling it at a restaurant there.
Yeah, I think you had an alligator taco,
Yeah, alligator tacos.
and you said it wasn't good at all.
No.
but it wasn't even at Later Gator. It was at the restaurant next door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Rub and
skipped
tug?
over it was by you were getting a massage. while
Rub and
getting it done.
grub.
It was a rub and grub.
Rub and
Yeah.
tug's different.
Imagine trying to eat like soup and somebody's like giving you shiatsu.
Yeah. Now, would you say Wheeling is like one of the nicer parts of the state of?
It's the
West
big.
Virginia?
It's one of the 4 big cities.
It's so there's not really nice parts. I would say like Harper's Ferry on the Eastern Panhandle and those little towns are quaint.
That's like a
and
DC
pretty.
suburb, though. A lot
Yeah.
of people will just live there.
And Wheeling is pretty much a
There's
Pittsburgh
beautiful
suburb.
It's in the
parts,
metro.
but if you're looking for like a nice city, we don't have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wheeling is one of the nicer cities.
Yeah.
Charlestown, is that
Charleston's the capital. There is a
Charleston.
Charlestown though, which is
Okay.
very nice.
the
Also,
capital?
they have the Greenbrier.
Charleston was not nice. I drove through there, I think the night before I visited you guys, and we stayed at a hotel and there was just a bunch of construction workers tailgating in the hotel parking lot.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
as my wife walked into the hotel, she was getting, like, catcalled by them
Yeah.
and stuff.
What were they tailgating? Just like a night at the
Yeah, just
They were
a night at the hotel.
a night at the hotel.
They're skipping the main part, the event.
Yeah, there was no
They're
event.
tailgating without an event.
They were
That's
just getting hammered in
alcoholism.
the parking lot.
Charleston, yeah, it's not nice at all, but it's probably on par with the rest of Appalachia as far as towns go.
Sure.
You got Pittsburgh, which is like the Paris of Appalachia.
Yes.
I think that's what it's called. And then other than that, like Knoxville, Chattanooga,
Yeah.
Asheville is nice now, but that's about it when it comes to actual cities.
Well, probably
Yeah,
not now.
Not now. Not as
very-
this is being recorded.
The very worst parts of Appalachia, I think, are southern West Virginia and then
Probably like
eastern
Boone
Kentucky
County,
or something.
I
Yeah.
spent a while in Bloomington.
Bloomington,
Or
West
Bloomfield.
Bluefield.
Bluefield.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah.
that
Dog
is
shit.
real. That is
Yeah.
That
pure
area is
unadulterated
bad.
dog shit.
Yeah.
I stayed there for 2 weeks when I was in college.
That's a tough one.
yeah. Put a
Yeah,
roof
there
on
are
the
some
church.
bad ones, but like it's that the further south you go, the prettier it gets. Mm-hmm. But it's grim.
So the southwest portion of West Virginia is the worst. That's like the old that was the big mining towns.
Okay.
And that's where like the Hatfield and McCoys were. Like so the Hatfields were on that part of West Virginia.
Okay.
McCoys were in eastern Kentucky.
And then a lot of those mines closed down, which
Yeah, now they're all ghost towns pretty much.
and they also got a lot of pills down there, right?
Pills and
yeah.
because there was that whole like for every person in southern West Virginia, they prescribed like 500 Vicodin per person if you like did the math.
Yeah.
And then they just stopped, and so now they just do heroin.
Yeah, all those pill mills, I think.
Yeah, that's how it
was.
was. Yeah.
There's a documentary called Oceania that's really good,
Yeah,
but really
okay.
sad.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's
Like
pretty.
Dope Sick vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, very
But
much
they're
like that.
even like it's more depressing almost.
Oh, good. Yeah. Cue that up.
Because that's all they got. They don't have the option to go to the discotheque.
I think West Virginia beat the U.S. military. Like hillbillies from West Virginia beat the U.S. military in a battle once.
So
you-
yeah, there's
Oh,
the
take that, Chaps.
Yeah,
the
1-0
mining
us,
wars.
douche.
Let's run it back. Check up,
Just
bitch.
burn through us.
Yeah, check ball.
Yeah, it was the miners versus the military.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mining wars, like the Battle of Blair Mountain, the Matewan War. So these coal miners lived in towns that were owned by the coal mining companies. So even like their currency was
They
just
didn't use
like,
U.S. currency.
It was like mining currency. They could only shop at like the mining stores.
They were essentially slaves.
Yeah.
What? When was this?
Like the 1920s, I think.
Shit.
So when they joined, a few of them started to join a union, and then that was a no-go. They started evicting them from the homes. They set up a tent colony, and then they just got in a gun battle.
Damn. Today's episode is brought to you by our good friends at Blue Chew. Have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activity.
Let's go.
Exactly right. Blue Chew is putting its money where its mouth is and is offering you a month for free. The process is simple. Sign up at bluechews.com and consult with their licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within just days. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Get it? Arises like your penis. The best part is it's all done online. That means no visit to the doctors, no awkward conversation, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. We can all relate to wanting to feel more confident, especially in the bedroom, and Blue Chew can help. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at bluechews.com. And we've got a special deal for you today. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free.
A whole month.
A whole month. That's probably, for us married guys, twice. You could probably use it twice. That's pretty sick. I get two. Yeah. Two for it. Bluechew.com. Again, that's BLUE CHEW.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast.
Took down the troops. I mean, I first learned about Appalachia growing up in Massachusetts. I think I did this for 3 summers. One week, our church group would drive down all the way to, we were in West Virginia 1 or 2 summers, and then in Kentucky the other summer. We would help build homes down there.
Habitat for Humanity.
As if we were Nicaragua.
Yeah, yes.
That's
it is
exactly
like that.
why I was there.
Oh, yeah?
When I
were
went
doing
to
the same thing?
it was a church trip, and we went to go put a roof on a church.
I think there's a picture of you pouring boxed water down my throat.
Probably.
Yeah. With my stomach really far out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget the goiter. Thank God.
Yeah.
You weren't.
That was
you weren't
the
a
first
big
time I met.
iodine
Thank you,
guy.
by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
I also,
Glad to do it.
I don't know how we like learned, like, because like nobody knew construction, and then like the people leading each group would just be a couple parents that volunteered, and like
Yeah.
they didn't really know what they were doing
How
either.
did you get from A to Z?
And then it's like, all right, let's build these guys a porch.
Yeah, you're going down to build a full house.
Yeah, I was up on the roof, like, what am I doing here? Like,
As like a high schooler?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't even think I was probably maybe 8th grade.
No, oh my God.
Get a box of nails.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I have
We
like
need you to
tool
build a
belt
roof.
on.
The house that my dad was assigned to work on, like while they were doing construction, people kept on showing up at the house, walking in, walking out, and 3 days in, they learned that the guy was a meth dealer. And so then they were like, oh, you don't meet our criteria where we're not supposed to be building like a porch for a meth dealer. And
Yeah,
they
that
had-
thing's about to
they
blow
had
up.
to change homes.
So he had a half-finished porch.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist.
See, I
You gotta have
think
a
Jesus
porch.
would have done that because he would have, like, he was rubbing the feet of all kinds of people.
Jesus would have helped a meth addict, but maybe Jesus would have not helped a
A meth dealer.
He released the thief on the cross.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he forgives everyone.
Yeah.
Is there? No, he beat,
He beat the shit out of somebody.
he was flipping those tables in the
tables.
bazaar.
That was-
In the temple, yeah.
Yeah. And you guys both went to Catholic school growing up?
Same Catholic school. Yeah, St.
Okay.
Vincent de Paul.
It's a very Catholic area of the country, would you say?
West Virginia as a state, probably not, but
Baptist vibes.
more
Snake
Methodist,
handling. Yeah.
Baptist. But Wheeling was pretty Catholic. There was a lot of
There's a
Catholic
lot of Catholic schools.
churches.
But that's more
As
of a
like
reflection of
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh.
is too, yeah. We're more culturally Pittsburgh like than West Virginia.
Real West Virginians like disown the Northern Panhandle.
Because that's super close to Maryland and
Ohio
Washington.
and no,
Even
that's
though-
Eastern
Oh,
Panhandle.
that's Eastern.
That's
okay.
like we're in the Northern Panhandle, Wheeling.
Okay.
They say if they gave the Northern Panhandle to Pennsylvania, both states' IQs go down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But all of these places are undeniably Appalachia. Like Western Pennsylvania is very,
Country.
very Appalachian.
Undeniably
they're
country.
backwards too. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that Pittsburgh's St. Anthony's Chapel has the largest collection of relics outside of the Vatican.
That shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what are these relics?
I'm going to say nuh-uh.
what counts as a relic?
I mean, usually relics would be like, we have a splinter of the cross.
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
like Jesus was crucified.
Churches are getting bones of people too every
Yeah.
once in a while. We have like St.
Yeah.
Peter's femur.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let me go check that out.
Do you
They were
know
selling all kinds back in the
Pittsburgh
day.
has a lot of sister cities, but one of them is China. Wuhan.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go.
They share tech and resources. That's
I was, yeah.
I always wonder what that means because you'll go see a sign on the highway that'll be like, "Welcome to Youngstown, sister cities with Krakow." And it's like I don't get how that correlation happened.
Yeah, or what's the benefit or something like that. Like,
I read like it's just like a cultural sharing thing, and you like there is some trade, and but I don't quite get it.
okay. I would have thought it would be Chongqing, China, because Pittsburgh and Chongqing are both at the confluence of 3 rivers.
They kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, the first time I went was on Rediscovering America,
Mm-hmm.
and I was a fan of the city. I think it's cool. It's unique. There's like a lot of cities like Indianapolis, which it's just like your run-of-the-mill city. There's nothing unique about it. But Pittsburgh, it's got mountains surrounding it. It's got 3 rivers.
It has an entrance, like when you go in through the tunnel, but it's small, undeniably small.
Yeah, but that makes it very walkable.
Yeah,
guess?
I mean, there's hilliness to it, but it's a really interesting city. I think there's a ton of charm. I love Pittsburgh.
Frank the Tank said it was his favorite city in America.
No way.
So?
Swear,
People
yeah.
people from outside the area love Pittsburgh. It's visually stunning, I guess.
Yeah.
Unique in a lot of ways.
There's the incline. Do you remember seeing that? It's like that trolley that goes up the side of the mountain where people can get down into the main part of the city for work.
I remember
which is
that.
cool.
It says Pittsburgh has more public staircases than any other city in America. And worldwide, it's second only to Venice.
There's
Wow.
no chance.
Yes, we got that in relics.
So everything is on a hill, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
How could that San Francisco exist?
I know San Francisco's fucking vertical.
Right.
Chongqing.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah.
Oh wait,
That's got
yeah.
insane staircases.
What's that city in China that has like 15?
That's Chongqing.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Like all those ground levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Pittsburgh's got it beat.
If you walked them all, it would be almost 15 miles.
Pittsburgh has the branding figured out. I think other cities need to get on that. Just everything's the same colors. Everything's
Yeah.
yellow and black.
In the 1920s, I was reading that they painted all the buildings black so that because of all the smog that would come in, they didn't want the white buildings getting like gray. So they just painted a ton of the facades black.
No way. Is there
black ass
is there-
city?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how that looked aesthetically.
Probably like Hogwarts.
A little bit like Hogwarts,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Well, yeah, it's a very black city, but it's not a very Hispanic city. It's got the least amount of Hispanics of any metropolitan area in the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah, I'm not too floored by that.
People didn't know what to do with like Freddie Sanchez and Troy Polamalu.
It really confused them.
What is this? What's up with this guy?
How do you say that name? How long do you think it took most of Pittsburgh to learn how to say Troy Polamalu?
Oh, they weren't saying.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it took
Troy P.
It took a decade for Roethlisberger. So, I mean, Polamalu is just you punt on that.
Yeah, Troy P.
Yeah,
How did Jersey Jerry become a fan of the Steelers?
I'd imagine it's like a parent thing, but like the Steelers are a big enough brand, like the Cowboys are like the Packers.
Yeah.
like where they're pretty.
It's crazy. Like you across the whole country, there's Steelers bars, Steelers fans. Like it's,
Yeah.
It's like top. It's probably top 3, like fandom in the NFL.
might
Yeah.
be.
Is that where most people from Wheeling, they root for the Steelers?
Yeah. It's pretty much wholeheartedly Steelers. It is unique though because Wheeling also touches Ohio. It's so thin where we live, so there are some Browns fans.
So it's that like when you were growing up and you wanted to go to the big city, you guys would all drive into Pittsburgh?
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, yeah, but that was a rare occasion. Like that's where we had to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and that's
Okay.
like. But I mean, Pittsburgh was probably like a twice a year for me.
yeah, go to a
Pirates game and then Kennywood.
Kennywood Sandcastle.
It was a sandcastle?
Sandcastle's our water park next to a power plant.
Okay.
The wave pool was more Band-Aid than water.
Yeah. Because you guys, like all the rivers in Pittsburgh and near Wheeling, like you wouldn't want to swim in, right?
No, they actually put you weren't allowed to eat the fish that you caught from there for a little bit because they had both male and female genitalia at a point due to pollution, I guess.
Yeah.
But you were also telling me there was a Chinese spot in Wheeling.
Silver
where-
chopsticks where you've been.
Yes, where if you caught a fish in the river, you could then like sell it to the local Chinese
Kyle
place.
did that.
Yeah, we were tycoons. We would use soft shell crawdads as bait, catch a bunch of at will catch catfish, and trade them to silver chopsticks for wontons and general.
In order-
Tso's.
in order-
Catfish.
Some crab
No,
fingers.
they didn't sell the catfish. I think they ate it themselves.
themselves, yeah, they
Yeah.
feasted on it.
So, but like you were the king of that.
I did it
Like-
once and claimed to be.
But you
That's still
brought
pretty
2
cool.
fish over. Did you catch 2?
No,
and bring
we
it up?
caught so many catfish, like 6 to.
Were you in the creek
20.
or the river?
Oh, we caught them in the creek.
Yeah, right.
Were you like noodling for catfish?
but we also caught catfish in the river once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never caught a fish to turn in for Chinese food. I use currency.
I have some laws that are still on the book for you guys. I want to see if you accept them or if you disavow.
All right.
All right. The first one.
Are these rules in West Virginia?
These are Pittsburgh specific rules.
Okay.
Okay.
It's illegal to sleep on a refrigerator when you're outdoors.
Okay. So you're going to see a lot of furniture and refrigerators in the yard.
There's a lot of front porch refrigerators.
So I see how that could be distracting toward drivers.
Yeah.
Is that
So I'm
what's
with
that guy doing on that outdoor fridge?
Yo, I'm with that law.
All right. Keep it on the books.
A lot of appliances on porches and yards.
I've seen full kitchenettes.
Like, wow.
It'd be so uncomfortable trying to sleep on a fridge. Well, unless it's like sideways.
Yeah.
Or if it's like one of the ones that Chef Donnie has in the back, like
Oh,
an industrial
yeah.
size.
that on a front porch is
Put
crazy.
that bad boy on there. Have a couch that you're gonna burn during the game, and then a beer out of the fridge.
Front
And
porches
take a nap
in
on
that
top.
area, front yards act as just another wing of the home. So like I had a buddy growing up that had an above ground pool in the front yard. Trampolines would go in the front yard. A car that would never start. The front yards were fun.
I put the VR set on, go on Street View, West Virginia. The things in the front yards, it's just the homes are in the front yards. I don't know what's in the homes.
There's nothing in the homes.
Like that belongs in the all of that.
You know those plastic kitchen sets every little kid has? There is one every other home in a front yard.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like the main front yard decor is like they send out their kids to play on the little kitchen set.
I mean, that's beautiful though.
It is beautiful, yeah.
That's really nice. Next up, you can't bring a mule onto a trolley car. Accept or
Okay.
disavow.
I think that's fair. Mules kick and are stubborn. They don't spit though.
Yeah,
do
that's
they?
their thing. They're stubborn.
They're stubborn as fuck.
Llamas spit.
Llamas
Yeah.
spit.
I think
Yeah.
alpacas too.
Alpacas spit.
Right? Okay, maybe I kind of agree with that.
They probably stink. Yeah, I'm fine with that one too. Let's keep that one going.
No fortune telling at all.
It's dangerous. Can give someone false confidence,
True.
make them delusional.
Fortune tellers, I mean, I think 90%, maybe 100% are just scam artists.
Yeah, I'll go 100.
Yeah, 100%.
It has to be at least 100. Yeah.
We all.
I like that you gave it 10% possibility though. That's agnosticism to.
Well, there are some that just might be so talented at like reading cues on you that they can actually like guess right, like a high percentage of the time. But I mean, most are scam artists. We visited some. They were technically called mediums down in Florida on a Rediscovering America.
You said the
trip.
meanest thing in the world to one.
I did.
She was like a bigger lady, and you were like, "That's the first time she's ever been called a medium."
Did you say
Or maybe it was you, Kyle.
that was you.
I just know it wasn't me.
Directly from the brain of you.
Oh my god! I think that's.
I think no. All I know for a fact is it wasn't me.
God.
That woman thought I was a gay man.
Yeah. She thought
Her
you were
first
gay.
read, she looked at my hand. She was like, "So what's your boyfriend's name?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
And then she was like, she saw me. She was like, "Oh, you recently had a grandmother who passed away," and I was like, "Nope, she's still alive."
And Lillian was how old when she passed away?
She's actually still alive, but she's 101.
Okay.
So she's up there.
She was playing the odds because she
then
like
she
found
was
out your age.
"Oh, well, then she might die kind of soon." I'm like, "Well, yeah, she's my grandma. That's what grandmas do."
It's like their main job.
Good call. She's 84.
Yeah.
Next owner. This one triggered me a little bit. Bar owners can't let patrons sing too loudly.
That's annoying.
You accept it.
I hate when people sing in public.
I don't like when people break out into song.
I'm not a musical. No, bars are for drinking
That's disappointing.
and
honestly.
being angry. Because-
I would say my only exception to that is in Ireland. Like they love to sing in the pubs. And,
That's fair.
And that is
Oh,
enjoyable.
When there's a song going and everyone's singing along, that's fun.
Yeah.
Really? Do you sing along?
If it's a song I like,
You'll never
I
sing along.
I love when the crowd sings along. It almost takes over.
You're at a bar, Friends in Low Places comes on.
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody always
Might
tries
too
to be a
mainstream
showman.
for Kyle.
I need to.
I get.
Next one, no fireworks in Pittsburgh.
So I do know you have to drive. The firework rule is weird. You're allowed to have like the little ones. You're not allowed to have anything that leaves the ground. So
Oh, so you got like snakes?
yeah, yeah. It's like that stand from Joe Dirt.
I mean, what's your stance on fireworks?
I like fireworks.
Really?
You
Yeah,
don't
I'm not a fireworks guy. I don't shoot them off, but I don't mind like standing on my porch and watch other people do it.
Okay.
I don't. I used. Are you talking veteran shit?
Oh yeah, I'm talking like
that could.
And you're a dog guy.
you get PTSD from fireworks.
I used to.
Oh, so
Really?
like, yeah, it's
the
a real
first 2
thing.
years,
Yeah.
one of my neighbors thought it would be hilarious to like put a pop rock, or what is it called, a bottle rocket,
Yeah.
into a bottle and shoot it at me. Like when I was walking across the street, and it exploded probably 15 feet behind my head, and I like jumped to the ground.
Oh
and he
my
was like,
God.
I am so sorry.
What was you thinking before that?
I had like road rash because I had jumped in the street. Like my arm
Yeah.
was all cut up. And then something happened like 3 years in. I was like, this is America. I'm fine.
I think fireworks should only be grand finales and then it's over. Fireworks
Yeah.
shows should be about
Yeah.
6 minutes.
Everybody in the neighborhood has 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just get it all
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
I'm
The
cool
whole
with that.
show should be the tempo of a grand finale.
And then it ends. Mm-hmm. I don't like the one at a time.
I feel like in China, half the fireworks only make a sound, but like you don't get to see anything,
Oh, yeah?
and so you're just like over Chinese New Year. It's just
They're
sounds like
firework
you're in a war
OGs.
zone. And it's
oh
just-
yeah, they're the ones.
But they've recently passed. They used to just you could set off a firework wherever you want in China. So walking down the street in Chinese New Year, you're just like dodging. They're exploding outside your window. It was like insane. Like you're actually in a war zone. And finally, just because of all the air pollution that it was causing, they banned it. So you have to be like outside of a major city to set them off.
That's fair.
I'm more of a drone show guy.
Those are cool.
Like
And-
the
and-
dragons they do, or
And China's leading
Yeah,
the way
they
with
are.
drone shows.
they're amazing.
Hasn't there already been a catastrophe with that? Didn't like 3 of them fall and hurt somebody?
I mean, that's a risk you accept.
Yeah, you're
Three?
right.
There's way more firework injuries than 3.
Yeah, actually, you're 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, another singing rule: no singing in bathtubs.
That
Well, you're going to be on the front yard again. Distracting to the neighbor.
True. Above ground pool or tub.
Yeah, right.
Got to be clawfoot, right? You guys are.
Clawfoot?
Yeah.
I mean, we're classy folk.
Yeah. Put a little fire underneath there.
That's right. Usually it's
nice.
just a shower head in the basement. Donnie knows that too.
Oh yeah, a Pittsburgh potty.
Pittsburgh pot.
Those, I love a Pittsburgh potty.
Fantastic.
Have you ever used one?
Yes, one time.
Wow.
And it was one of the oddest shitting experiences I've ever had because there's
It was not as
You ready
odd
to get
as-
one
as
up?
my shitting experience.
I mean inside America.
Okay, no, I'm talking about like the one time I used a Pittsburgh potty, hands down, oddest shitting
well, what is
experience. Well, I had Nick KB watching me,
we were sitting right across.
Plus a
Our
ca-
knees were like touching,
and I was in a rando's basement.
and he was also down there.
So we were filming Rediscovering America there, and I sent out a tweet going, "Does anybody have a Pittsburgh potty I could use for the show?" And I think 3 people reached out, and so they sent in photos, and we chose one that looked the most
we couldn't do it without breaking.
appealing. And so just a random fan, we like show up at his house, we go downstairs, Corey sets up like 3 cameras.
You got to
and-
get all the angles.
And I hadn't pooped in like 3 days. So I was trying to save up a big poop, but when you hold in a poop for so long, you just get severely constipated. And then I think I got stage fright too. So I'm trying to shit with 3 cameras on me, Nick and KB just staring me directly in the face. And I got out the tiniest little like rabbit turd. And then like a couple farts. I couldn't get out anything else. And finally KB was like, all right, you need to shit or get off the pot. It's time for you. It's time for me and you to switch places. And he got on and just let it rip immediately.
Well, I have a perpetual urge, but the thing that it was so funny because the scene was so serious,
It was impossible not to laugh.
and the hosts were very kind, but they weren't laughing enough. They were just standing in the background, straight face.
Oh yeah, because
they
the
were
wife
in
was
there where you guys were shitting?
Just
Yeah.
a finger. If you want to pull up the end of Pittsburgh,
And surprisingly, that like out of all the videos I've filmed of me doing like drugs in random foreign countries, that video I think pissed my parents off the most.
Oh, really?
When it came out, they were like,
too lewd.
"We're very disappointed in you. Like, why do you think content like that is funny?" And like Meanwhile, our fans probably thought that was one of the best scenes from the whole show.
There was a bootleg T-shirt that people were buying of you shitting.
Yeah.
Were they upset because of the rabbit-sized turd and expect more?
Yeah, this is the situation.
Oh my god. That's just staring him
That's
down.
a ridiculous visual.
That's like,
But
you
then
guys
it'll,
have been
like-
stuck in the movie Saw.
Yeah.
This looks disturbing.
But that's like my grandma. Both of my grandmas had these in their basement. There was like a shower head right next to the toilet.
The fucking deer.
Oh yeah, we bought that from like some mystic woman.
Oh, damn. Where is that? Is that still in the New York office? 'Cause
Yeah.
we have
I
to
don't
get
know
that
where
moved
that
out to
is.
Chicago.
Definitely.
Yeah, so the reason behind Pittsburgh potties, it's when you got home from the coal mines,
Mm-hmm.
you could just go directly into the basement, shit and shower, wash up, and then go upstairs so you don't get coal soot all over
Yeah,
the
you
place.
can go wash off in that basin in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that was probably one of our best scenes out of the whole Rediscovering America series. I think the only one that could top it would be the Riggs seance.
Yeah.
That
And
was
that,
my favorite.
that was the
Yeah,
point
for
in
sure.
in my career where I tried not to break with anything. Like even on like the Yak, I was doing that beforehand. Like when something funny happened, I tried to keep a straight face. I thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
Ever since that happened, I gave it all up because
It got
that
me
would-
into
It got me into laughing. Yeah, that shit got me into laughing because I was so uncomfortable, and they like, oh, I cringe thinking about it.
Yeah, we did a seance with a medium. He was trying to contact our lost ones, and we were just trying to contact Riggs because he was the lost one to us. He had recently left the New York office and moved to Scottsdale.
And sometimes there have been people that will recognize specific people as one of you are starting to see similarities.
My friend Sam, our old friend Sam.
Is he on the other side, Sam?
Scottsdale.
And we were like, yeah, I
You
think
gotta reconnect.
we're starting to see him. Like, I think his eyes are looking like a little off.
It was, and the guy was sitting there so seriously because like the whole goal of him, he was like shining this light on him, and there was a woman telling us what she saw in this man's face, and his face was supposed to morph into the face of our loved one,
Donnie's grandma.
Riggs.
No, Riggs.
His eyes are like starting to bulge.
To me, it looks like each of his eyes is looking in a different direction.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. You blew my mind because I used to be very, very shy.
Yes.
Even when I first started at Barstool, and like I was mortified to be walking around in costume.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
the first rediscovering we did, the pilot, where it was going to be a one-off. We were dressed as like
Revolutionary War.
yeah
Colonial
sort of.
colonial men.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering why we're in costume. Well, we're rediscovering America.
And it was done, and the first thing I did whenever we cut was like take off the coat, take off this, put on a t-shirt, and try to like blend in. I remember you rolled up to the airport just wearing yours. Like you sat on the plane, full colonial garb.
I think on all of our trips, and some of them were a week long, I would just wear my costume the entire
whole time. So
I
we'd
would
be
never
like
take it
done
off.
out at dinner, and you were method acting.
I will say you do get used to being costumed in public.
Yeah, now I don't
you
care.
get desensitized to it, and you're like,
I
and
do.
people generally don't care either.
Yeah, because once you realize that no one gives a fuck about you when
Right.
you're in public, it's so freeing.
People
You're
don't
like,
care.
no, oh, I just fell.
I was actually disappointed. Like,
Yeah.
why isn't anyone
Yeah.
looking at
It was.
Right. I'm in a colonial
yeah.
outfit.
I got used to like making a fool out of myself in China, just because when you're a foreigner in China, they're gonna think you're weird, regardless of
Right.
what you're doing. So if you're wearing a weird costume or talking to yourself, like they're just like, oh, I guess that's what white people do.
Yeah.
And then when I got back to the U.S., especially if I'm like filming on my own, I just like, and I'm out in public and I've got like a camera that I'm talking to, I felt kind of awkward at first, but eventually got over it.
Get used to it.
Drop a Pen is also sponsored by Rocket Money. The start of a new year is the perfect time to get organized, set goals, and prioritize what matters most. For me, a top priority is my financial wellness, which feels more important than ever. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I know that I have just signed up for all this nonsense in the past, and it's hard to keep track of. Sometimes there's an app that I think will like change my life, and then I go 6 months without using it and realize that I've still been paying for it.
Yep. I had a ton that I was paying for. I actually was paying for like my streaming for TV multiple times, like twice under two different email addresses. And so I paid a ton of money, and I found out by Rocket Money.
Yeah, I also found out that my wife had signed up for quite a few things.
Oh, wow. Throwing her under the bus while she's pregnant. My goodness.
On my, this wasn't while she was pregnant. This was before, but I was like, oh God. And like she had forgot that she had signed up for it too. So
Yeah.
had to cancel those. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. $740. That's a flight to Europe, folks.
Yeah, true.
For
Great
sure.
point.
I used to fly to Italy for less than $740 round trip. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/wonton today. That's rocketmoney.com/wonton. rocketmoney.com/wonton. So those were two highlights from Rediscover America. Another highlight was just traveling to Alaska.
That might be
All
my
of
favorite
our-
place ever.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever experienced awe.
Yeah, it's
Paddleboarding.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
I've been chasing that high. I look at that paddleboarding picture of us, like the drone shot they got
Oh, yeah.
when we were like in that real shallow water.
Yes.
It might be the coolest thing I've ever done.
What's
That
awe?
I was.
Awe, AWE, awe,
Oh, in awe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some awe.
awe.
Okay.
Good awe.
Some damn good
I thought
awe.
we were talking drugs again.
It felt like it.
Have you ever tried awe?
Yeah.
You guys are both significantly braver than I. You went on that fucking homemade helicopter.
Oh.
You.
Oh my God.
NKB.
I did.
Actually, yeah, that's probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. Is that, yeah, when me and you went in the helicopter, flew onto a glacier, and then swam in
That
a
was
glacial
That
pool.
was the coolest thing. I think the helicopter was. Yeah, the ride was.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
No.
You weren't?
Yeah, you kind of like you played the math. It's like we're gonna be good.
Yeah, and then not only once we arrived at the pool, we put on these really thick wetsuits, and the guy that we were with was like a free diver, and so then he was like, hold on to my back, and I think he had a little motorized scooter or something. Then he took me like 20 feet underwater
Yeah.
there, and it's just like this bright like blue water, and he's just.
Were you prepared for it? Like to go that deep?
I
You gotta know that you're popping your ears and shit.
I was just I was prepared to hold my breath, and all I had to do was just hold my breath and hold on, and yeah, I know how to pop my ears.
20 feet's pretty deep.
That's pretty fucking deep.
Yeah.
It was so breathtaking, but I have to admit I was chronically uncomfortable the whole time.
Oh yeah.
There's something about being in like a freezing cold body of water, and you just don't completely trust the suit.
But that wasn't the first time we were in freezing cold water. You almost died on that rope
yeah.
swing into freezing cold water.
Yes, that was up in the Upper Peninsula.
You've had
and
some close calls.
Aquaman Dan, this quite a character. He's known as like the UP surfer because he just surfs the lakes up there in the middle of winter. That's the only time they have waves.
He also dips his toe into nudity.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Loves getting nude. But he took us to a rope swing. He's like, you got to do this, man. And so I go on the rope swing and I let go of the rope a little too late or a little too early and fell
Way
back and,
too early.
was literally
You stepped off and then just let go, and your head was centimeters from a boulder.
yeah,
Shit.
centimeters from a boulder.
And then you fell out of that tree, or you jumped out of
Yes.
that tree.
And then we went back to the UP over the summer, and he was like, "This is my favorite tree to jump out of." And it's a flimsy ass tree, and so like I tried to get like a big jump out of it, and the branch just gives way, and I just fall through like 10 branches and like land in a puddle on my head.
Oh, back to the costume thing though. You had us. Fuck you, Donnie. You took us to the Dick Dock in Pleasant. What was it called? P-Town. Provincetown.
Cape Cod.
And we all were in the same matching red Speedos.
Yeah.
And that is the most grotesque, disgusting I've ever felt.
And also, we should note that Provincetown is the gay capital of the U.S.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And we were with Pat, so he was like showing us all his favorite spots. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Dick Dock, it's right below this really popular bar there, and I guess it's where a lot of people just they go from the bar underneath the dock in get their dick sucked.
Oh, cool.
The bar, we went to the bar for high tea, which is like what they called it during Prohibition, but that was the only way they could drink, is if it was under the guise of high tea, noon tea.
Yeah, I mean, high tea is what they call it.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Imagine smoking a little meth and getting your dick sunk underneath the bridge.
Ideal.
Oh,
That would be a good day. Better than most of mine.
and you can't make them go to finish if that's how long it takes. So then you start beating off, and then you're back in your wheelhouse.
It's perfect. It's the perfect day.
Yeah, so those were 2 near-death experiences, the tree and the rope swing, and then the outhouse. I guess that was another, I don't know about near-death, but
That just hurt.
Definitely near serious injury.
How?
We were in an outhouse that was being pulled by a truck, and the outhouse was on a sled, and there was like snow everywhere, and I was having a blast for a while. We had all 3 of us shoved into this small little outhouse.
You two kept, I'm the pussy of the group. I'm almost every episode.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it's like, I don't think people would blame you for being a pussy. I mean, when me and KB went in the helicopter, you stayed back to observe the world's largest chocolate waterfall.
While those guys may have gotten a personal helicopter ride to swim in the purest glacial waters Alaska has to offer, I get to go to Alaska Wild Berry Products to see the world's largest chocolate waterfall. I couldn't be more excited.
Which is arguably more dangerous. You saw what happened to Augustus.
Yeah, exactly right.
But yeah, we were being pulled by this truck, and then he did like a turn, and the outhouse just kind of fell, like
the floor came out, and so it was just like for a split second it was like a Scooby-Doo scene. We just looked down, there was no floor.
And then we all just fell back on our back, and I think I landed on Nick.
I hurt my arm, but it's all worth it.
Is it really an outhouse if it's on a truck though? It's more of a wooden porta potty, right?
And this is extremely homemade.
Oh yeah, it was a porta potty.
Yeah.
In the shape of a Labatt Blue can.
It just, the only rule was it had to have a seat on the inside with a toilet seat.
Yeah, we made it because they do an outhouse race up in the Upper Peninsula every year. Yeah. Those were some highlights from Rediscovering America. Do you have any lowlights? Any valleys? Those
were lowlights.
Yeah, I thought we just got those out of the way.
Now that we've talked about shitting in a basement, what are the lowlights?
The 4 corners of America, pretty much: Alaska, San Diego, the Everglades City, Florida.
Oh, that was interesting.
And I guess not Maine, but
yeah.
Did you guys do python stuff?
Do we do what?
When you're in the Everglades?
No, we did. Stuff? We did alligator wrestling. Which I think, so we posted a clip of KB wrestling an alligator, but how you're actually supposed to wrestle an alligator is you just like grab him by his snout, because then they can't open it. You don't actually put wrestling moves on him, but we were like, KB, just treat it like a high school wrestling match. He's trying to put it in like an arm hold and stuff.
Full Nelson.
And
sorry for conflating wrestle with wrestle. I don't know why they use that verb.
2-leg takedown on an alligator.
I still recall that we posted like a clip of you wrestling an alligator to the main Barstool Sports account, and that's the one time like Portnoy, I think, reached out to our social media team and was like, we need to take that clip down immediately.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't, he's a huge animal guy.
And you were really winning this match.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself. I thought I was doing well. But,
and then, same day, we fished and caught a really big gator. And you were supposed to be holding the mouth shut, and we were sitting on the back. And then they started rolling, and you look to the camera and just let go of the mouth. Everybody goes, "Oh fuck!" and everybody jumps off the alligator.
Yes, yeah.
Donnie, you stay on it, Donnie.
Unbelievable.
I forgot. Oh god, I just poked him in the eye.
Good times.
Yeah, good times. Our trip to Florida, that was the longest trip, so we were probably pretty.
Florida. I think we stayed in like 9 different cities.
And each night was a new hotel.
Yeah, like some of those Central Florida cities were a low light.
I think we stayed in a hotel that had, like, the city had a population in the 30s. And with the hotel we stayed in, they were just like, yeah, we're off work today. The keys are like taped to the door.
Yep.
That was Everglades City.
Yeah.
It's Everglades City.
Florida.
Fascinating place.
That's pretty close to where my mom lives.
No kidding.
Central Florida. So me and Chief went. We had to do something for high noon to go to like Gainesville.
Oh, yeah.
And we were driving from Jacksonville through it. And he's like, God damn, there's nothing around here. And I like kept it to myself. And then there was this shitty little gas station. I was like, my mom lives down that road.
No fucking way.
He was like, get out. I was like, legit, 800 yards down this road is where my mom's house is. And he was like, dude, you really are fucking country. Like,
yeah.
You're a fucking hick.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was growing up in that area like? Is that where you grew up?
No, thank God.
Okay,
So
Jesus.
I grew up in Jacksonville, like all over the place, really, from like Italy, Maryland, and then Jacksonville, Pensacola. But my parents moved back to Central Florida. And when I went to check out where that house was going to be, like in the middle of nowhere, I was like, nah, man, I'm going to do my senior year of high school in Pensacola. You guys have
really?
a good time. Yeah. So I was 17. I moved in with some Cajuns that in an old firehouse that was converted into their home. And so I had like a fire pole instead
No
of stairs.
fucking way. That's sick.
I would do that. And then they had like a big awning outside my room. And I would park my truck right by the roof. And in the morning, I would jump out on the roof and then jump into the bed of my truck and then drive to high school.
What a senior year.
Yeah, it was fucking great. And
Cajuns,
I missed
Firehouse.
I missed the first period almost all the time because my mom wasn't there. And
Yeah, I would have done the same.
Yeah. Today's episode is also brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. It's NFL playoff times, and we're talking about the NFL playoffs all over the office right now. And if you want to get in the action, you can go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. It's an official sports betting partner of Barstool Sports and the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning in the playoffs, and the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdown. Are you ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown, or go to DraftKings.com's sports app and make your pick. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush in the playoffs. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. If you're like me, my team is out of the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars stink out loud. So in order to have fun and have like a little bit of vested interest, I'm going to be making some bets, and you can too. So score big during the NFL playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code DROP. That's code DROP for new customers to get $200 in bets instantly when you bet just $5. It's only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Let's go. I enjoy gambling more when it's not on my own team. So
yeah,
it's kind of nice the Pats are out of the playoffs. Now I can really get down to business.
Yep, and do it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, that's code DROP to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Let's get back into the show.
I also recall in Rediscovering America, we dealt with some pretty brutal hangovers a few times.
Yeah.
Once we were touring like a museum of witchcraft and wizardry.
That one's on me.
We always would schedule the most boring tours.
Yeah.
The day the morning after going hard.
You were hungover in the Jello Museum.
Jello Museum.
And you were just like, sorry, I'm going to give Jello Museum effort. I'm going to give it a Jello Museum level effort.
It's like, all right, lemon lime area. All right.
Okay, let's end. What's next?
Yeah.
Orange, cool.
And then the Troll Museum, I was hungover for that.
But I was still mic'd up for the.
You might have been, yeah.
I was still mic'd up
when
for
you were
the.
puking, yeah.
That was in the Witchcraft Museum, and I was afraid because we were talking to one of the most powerful wizards in the Cleveland area.
Shit.
Ray Buckland?
Yeah, and we were looking into his scrying orb, and I was like, I can't fucking do this.
You get a lot of good samples at the Jello spot.
Oh, yes, that was
Actually
great.
no. I think what we did, they didn't have any like ready to eat samples.
You had to
could just,
buy like the
buy-
pre-packaged.
Oh, how
do you not have that there?
Yeah.
But I bought a certificate at that Jello Museum that's certified that I've been there, just in case people didn't believe me.
Oh, yeah.
I needed
gotta
proof.
be able to show
it was
the
like
receipt.
they were 50 cents each, and it was signed by the owner of the Jello Museum and one other person, Bill Cosby.
That's right. What?
Yeah, I guess he signed a bunch.
Bill Cosby,
He was a Jello guy.
He was
Yeah.
a big pudding guy.
More pudding.
Pudding.
But that's Jello brand. And there was like a section of the Jello Museum, and it was just like a perfect like You know how like when we dropped the nuclear bomb, there were like the outlines of people left on the sidewalk. There was a perfect Bill Cosby shaped one on the wall, and we were like, "This must have been." There was a whole Cosby wing that they turned into like, "This is our old farm equipment section." Do you remember that? They're just like, "Wait, why is this here?"
Yeah.
I mean, that might be the most I've been influenced ever was by Bill Cosby and his pudding pops.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was early. He got what he wanted.
At one point, I think I found like a half-drinking bottle of vodka in the back of the van, and I was like, KB, I think, has definitely just been like taking sips of vodka.
We were
just to
all
get through
drinking the
this.
entire time, but hiding it from each other.
Yeah, we were all hiding it from each other. I was like, we should probably just party together.
We did it.
And then I remember like a week after I found that bottle, you were like, "Yeah, I'm not going to drink anymore."
Yeah,
and then you went sober for 2 months. But I mean, yeah, those trips were a slog.
Those vans end up
sometimes you had to sip a
stinking.
little vodka to get through it.
Those vans end up stinking bad.
The drunkest I got there was Put-in Bay, Ohio.
Oh, dude.
That was. The
I saw you defy physics.
Wow, so
We were at a beach bar in Put-in Bay.
Yeah.
And I think you tripped over a stool and you fell onto sand. But you fell so hard that you bounced on the sand. That should have absorbed your shock. You fell with such a velocity that you hit and bounced again.
Yep.
Put-in Bay was
I skipped work that day. We were supposed to film by the pool, and I was like, nah. I went and hid in the world's longest bar that was empty, so it had plenty of space to hide.
Whoa. There's a place in San Antonio that says they have the world's largest bar.
Oh.
Longest.
Is
This
what
was the
longest, too.
But I don't like how
maybe
they
this
did
is
it.
wooden.
Okay.
Hey,
wooden
this
bar.
one was wooden, too.
Oh,
I
no.
think you went.
I went
right?
to San
We were in San Antonio,
but
too,
not
yeah.
to that
I think
bar.
you guys went, too. Didn't we go out to a bar?
Didn't we just do the river walk?
Maybe.
We went out to a bar.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that on that trip you got a little too high and had to go home.
That's possible. Yeah.
Okay.
That's very possible.
I don't know the drunkest. Oh, the drunkest I've been was in Cleveland when we went to like Dante's place beforehand.
Oh yes, and then KB got behind the bar and just started bartending.
That's the drunkest I've ever been.
Yeah, me too. And that's the day before I puked at the witches.
Yeah.
Because we were celebrity serving, but they never asked us to. We just got behind the bar. I think there was a band. You were up with Dante. We were making drinks for people.
You were making drink and not charging people.
No, he was charging, but to his Venmo.
I was doing the work.
You made so much money that night.
And then there was a long.
Technically, that's stealing, I think.
It was theft.
Yeah, so not only first he was doing that, he was just stealing from the bar to his own personal Venmo. Then there was like a huge line for the bathroom, and KB had to puke, so he cuts the entire line and just pukes like all over the bathroom. And then the like bar manager goes like kicks KB out of the bar, and even Dante, who's the owner of this place, was like unable to like save you.
Yeah, you broke the number one rule.
He was like,
I cut the line, but I had to throw up, so I figured that would get me like a little pass.
The number one rule isn't jumping over the bar and serving drinks. It's
No,
you can't
no.
skip. There's no
skip
cutsies.
the bathroom line and puke. One video we have to talk about. This was not Rediscovering America. It was before it, during COVID as well. Virtual vacations. Hey, how are you? For most of my life, I've been a world traveler, having visited over 25 countries. But then the pandemic hit, and they told me to stay at home. I was sad, but then it hit me. Virtual vacations. Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the first ever pandemic-proof travel show.
That was the most fun I've ever had on a trip with you guys.
Which I think that's like one of the most unique pieces of content I've done.
That got me into virtual vacations. That's what I do every night on my VR set.
Oh shit!
That was a really cool idea by you.
It was.
Yeah. The concept is we would like choose a place in the country and just explore it using Google Maps Street View, where I'll be using cutting-edge technology to take everyone to world-class destinations without ever having to leave my chair. So we're kind of just like walking around, zooming in. It wouldn't work in some towns, but we chose Woonsocket of Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
You got to.
Got to.
Which
damn near have
That's
to.
the first
You
spot.
found the most alarming article I've ever seen.
What was
They called Woonsocket pedophile mecca.
Oh, really?
You sent it to us.
Dude,
You
yeah.
would have thought that'd be by the
If
Jello
you just
video.
go on Google and search Woonsocket, you're not going to find a lot of great stories coming out of that town. But it was definitely time consuming because before we recorded, I kind of just like explored the entire town just using Street View, and then I just found weird shit that we could talk about. Like there was a hot dog place that was also a notary.
We went there.
Yeah, and then we did a Rediscovering
going
America.
there.
Then we did a real vacation to
I threw up
Woonsocket.
there because of the hot dog.
Okay.
The hot dogs were like
red.
neon orange.
Yeah, they were not good. Yes, and then there was like a notary in the back. There was a Chinese food jazz club
That was sick.
called like Chan's Egg Rolls
Yeah,
Jazz.
I love that.
Not egg rolls and jazz.
Just
roll
egg rolls
jazz.
jazz. We got to meet with Chan. But yeah, and then for a while we like didn't think COVID was ever gonna like end. I thought like this just might have to be all my travel content now.
It was like fun to do. I remember like getting excited to like go up in my parents' guest bedroom to like go explore with the boys on Google Maps.
Because on Google Maps you can actually go inside some places, which we were shocked. Like we were allowed to go into the men's bathroom of Planet Fitness. I think we were allowed to go into the women's bathroom.
Wait, and wasn't there like a weird commercial? Yeah, we could go in the women's bathroom. You stayed behind in there. We were like, all right, we're going to
vacation. Yeah, hold up. Let me.
How do you move around? Like, is it like a joystick type of
You
thing?
just click
You-
a
you-
arrow.
you
can go
click.
forward and backwards. So
And like random homes, you'll just be able to go inside. And there's also places on Antarctica where you can actually explore on Google Maps Street View. You can explore amusement parks, so you can go to Disney World
It's a wonderful technology.
and walk around.
yeah.
The Planet Fitness, we kept, wherever we went in the town, we saw the advertisements for this like same lawyer. And then even in the Planet Fitness, we looked at the TV screen.
It was
There
playing
a
on the
commercial
TV
for that
screen.
lawyer.
That was, oh man. That was a good time. I forgot about virtual vacation, man.
Yeah, dude. Over COVID, I spent a lot of time on Google Maps Street View.
It was a good like 3 to 5 month novelty, but imagine what our quality of life would be like if we were still in quarantine.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I do feel like as like making content, that was like when I first started here. Like
yeah,
I was
you
at
got hired, and then the whole country went into lockdown.
yeah. It was the day after I signed my lease in New York City.
You got a solid weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. Oh my God, what a place! But then I just went back to West Virginia, and I thought I was fucked. But people were like so hungry for content, me included. Like I feel like the bar was a lot lower for making stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you
like,
did anything, people were like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Playing, like,
and you crushed it."
hopscotch.
I mean, Tiger King. People were like, "This is good."
It was pretty good.
Well, what?
I don't know.
But was it good enough to take over the entire nation?
It became a cultural zeitgeist, unlike anything we've ever seen.
It was like the first season of American Idol.
Yes,
Full
it truly
popularity.
It should have been good, but it my God, that's
I think-
all anybody.
yeah. And like there was like a big movement that Trump was going to pardon him.
Yeah.
And I think even Trump was going along with it because he was like, it will help me like improve my ratings and stuff. And then he
Yeah.
was like, no, I cannot pardon this,
This
guy.
guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Was he a Florida guy?
Yes.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
Is the Florida man trope accurate?
Yeah, especially in the area where my mom is from.
The guy we hunted a skunk ape with.
Oh, loved that dude. He was so clearly just invented the whole myth of a skunk ape just to like avoid him being arrested for growing fucking like fields and fields of marijuana.
Yes.
So he invented the myth of a skunk ape that smelled like a skunk. So probably whenever when the police ever like came to his property, he'd be like, "Oh, that's just the skunk ape. He's probably been around here." It did not work. He did end up doing time in jail for
But I imagine it
selling
works
pounds of weed.
sometimes.
Well, he still does the tours. He still does hunts with people. He still finds. I believe he found a skunk ape footprint with a little yachty.
Yeah.
He's so locked into the character. Like he's just like, we're on a tour looking for skunk ape, and I'm like, what are we doing?
And he's like, "Shut up, he might be around, dude."
He was the man though.
He was the man. He was
the
pissed
man.
off because he didn't get invited to the Bigfoot convention because technically skunk ape isn't Bigfoot.
This month, they're having the Bigfoot convention in Orlando, okay? People from all over the world going. I wasn't even invited.
Whoa.
I don't get it.
How?
I don't know, but there's
Who
people
was
that are
invited?
upset about it. They
Had to
invited
be.
Bigfoot people to the Skunk Ape conference. Jeff Mongram, he's going to be there. He's like a scientist or something. People want me to like get mad.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
He hated. He said it was all politics.
It's just politics,
They don't want to see him win.
No.
Yeah. And then he's like, we actually have footage of it if you want to see it, and shows us a video, and it's so clearly just a dude in a gorilla suit running through the Florida swamp.
He said he was running faster than a linebacker, and it was not true. That guy rocked.
But which linebacker?
Right. Some of the people we've met, like, we think we work with weirdos here. Outside, there are some people that are jaw-droppingly strange.
Every
Chris
fourth
Diamond.
person in Central Florida is Mincy.
It's
Central Florida was
Central
was
Florida.
amazing.
Every person we met was
just
was Mincy.
Yeah.
Chris Diamond, he's a Bertie Higgins cover singer. So I know you know Bertie Higgins because you guys had him on your radio show. Once,
Yeah,
right?
one of the most racist interviews I've ever done.
with Bird. Oh yeah, he's had some allegations.
Yeah, he does.
Me and KB went out to have lunch with him our last day in Florida, and he did drop an M-bomb.
He did. Yeah.
So
I think it was with the appetizer.
Then you're like, whoop, check please.
Before the appetizer.
never meet your heroes.
True.
I'm sure people listening to this don't even know who Bertie Higgins is, but he was the original yacht rock guy, I think. I think he kind of inspired Jimmy Buffett, or him and Jimmy Buffett both blew up around the same time. But then Bertie Higgins ended up only having like one hit song, and Jimmy Buffett went on to become like
An empire.
the most successful musician entrepreneur of all time.
Yeah,
the
he's
cover
like the
artist-
Ryan Leaf of Jimmy Buffett.
He's the Ryan Leaf of Jimmy Buffett. That's a great way to put it. But then we met the cover artist. So imagine being a cover artist of the Ryan Leaf of Jimmy Buffett.
Well, when you hear Key Largo, you gotta sing.
You do.
Yeah,
But then he was
unless
talk-
you're in a bathtub.
You're right. Yes.
can't do that.
But he was talking about how he was getting blowjobs in the Howard Johnsons around inland Florida.
This is the cover.
The cover artist. We're talking about the groupies.
Dude,
You're still friends with him, are you not?
he still calls me. The last time was
Bertie?
No,
Oh.
Chris Diamond,
Oh, okay.
the cover singer. So yeah, this was last May. He gave me a call. I feel bad. I should pick up one of these times. Wait a second. I gotta put on the.
Hey, Zach, it's Chris Diamond. Give me a call. Hey, Zach, it's Chris Diamond. Give me a call.
That's not him.
That's
a woman's
That is
voice.
a woman.
No, that's the woman that.
That's his assistant.
Yeah, it's Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Diamond.
Did she say I'm Chris
assistant.
Diamond?
Yeah.
I'm Chris Diamond. Can you play that again?
Hey, Zach, it's Chris Diamond.
It's Chris Diamond.
Chris Diamond.
Because I don't think Chris Diamond like.
I like how you put that phone number in there. It says the phone number at the end, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, shit. We'll have to block that out. We know because I think we realized that Chris Diamond might like not know how to write or something because she was sending
She
like
was
all
writing
of his text messages.
She was a scribe.
She was his scribe, but
Bertie Higgins, cover artist, not knowing how to write is perfect.
But Chris Diamond, we miss you and love you.
He's the man. I'd love to have him up here.
If he's ever willing to come to Chicago, he could perform on this show.
Oh yeah,
that'd be
for
so
sure.
sick.
Yeah, we
he
need
was
to
a
have
good guy.
Tiny Stool in here instead of Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As weird as some of these people are, they are nice at their core.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I think all the people we met on our travels were very friendly. Did we like have any people that were like, oh shit, we can't see them again?
There were some people that creeped me out. The chick we met in Detroit, who took us to the cemetery and said White Sox Dave was Hitler reincarnated.
I
Strong,
liked her.
but I'd like to hear her argument.
Yeah.
We were smoking weed at
didn't
Aretha
really have an
Franklin's
argument.
grave.
Yeah.
No, we were smoking weed at one of the Mrs. Ford's grave.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I had just gotten high, and she just looks at Dave. She's like, you know, he's Hitler. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck?
Everybody that made a impact in this world is actually here. Hitler, what's his name? Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
All of them.
Hitler's back.
Yes. Oh, this is him.
Yeah, she was like, I believe that we all come back as someone else. And then we were like, well, who's Dave? And then she's like, dropped an H-bomb.
And we met her. She was dressed as a clown at a mushroom tea shop.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how we
And
met
she was
her.
like, meet me tomorrow at the cemetery. I'm like, oh, thank God we got rid of her. And Donnie's like, all right, we have tomorrow's plans. I'm like, damn it, Donnie.
And in that mushroom tea place, what was the deal with the doctor who worked there?
Oh, Yeah, because after we put out the video, we filmed an interview with him. He kind of works in psychedelic medicine, and he has this place like in Detroit called like the Psychedelic Healing Shack. But then we like read all these articles after the video came out where like I think he like found a dead guy on his property, and then people were like, "Why didn't you help him?" Or he found like a dying guy on his property that he didn't help or something. I don't know.
But he did a whole. Who'd he heal, you or Dave?
Dave, I think, again. Yeah.
Oh, remember when the pinkyless woman healed Kyle in Florida?
I remember the healing.
We
not the
were
lack
in
of pain.
How did you meet
Casadega.
all these weird people on
Donnie is a
video?
magnet to these people.
Yeah, I would just do like research beforehand, and then like one weird person would lead to the next.
It was a
And,
domino
like, yeah, most
effect.
people we reached out where I was like, we're filming a travel show. We want to highlight unique places in your state, and we would love to, you know, highlight whatever you're doing. And more often than not, they'd be down. When we were in Pittsburgh, we went on their tiki boats
Oh, yeah.
on the river. And then after the video came out, they're like, you know, the guy who runs that company was like a really crooked cop. But
Had no idea.
That was fun. Huh?
But like the woman in Florida without the pinky healed Kyle. We went to Casadega, which was you have to be approved by a board of psychic mediums to live there,
Yeah.
or something like that. And she touched you and started weeping. And she looks at you and she's like, "You're
Resorted
messed
her
up."
to tears.
from just you being touched.
yeah.
You're messed up.
I mean, KB's a tough nut to crack.
Impossible.
And so, yeah, it brought her to tears. Just trying to, like, read your energy.
Oh man.
Yeah. Do we have any last Pittsburgh Appalachia facts? Appalachia, isn't it? Do they call it
It's Appalachia.
Appalachia?
And
Is
it's the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
Oldest mountains in the world.
Yeah. Older than the rings of Saturn, if that means anything to you
That
guys.
means a lot to me.
So like at one point they were the same mountain range as the Scottish Highlands.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's
like,
my friend
the Pangea, yeah.
Yeah.
Your good friend of the show.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Your boy.
schoolie
Gotta get him
Pangea.
in.
Yeah. He's busy. He said he could do it in another like 200 million years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's an often looked over part of the country, but I think if you dive a little deeper, there's some cool stuff to be had. Don't vacation there.
My favorite style of music right now comes from Appalachia.
Bluegrass?
Yeah, like the Tyler Childers of the
Oh
world.
yeah,
That
he's
kind
from
of shit.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Him. Not Zach Bryan. He's from Oklahoma. Oh, Sturgill Simpson from
Yeah.
that area too.
Oh, I love Sturgill.
Yeah, a lot of great artists right now are
Some
from
outlaw
there.
outlaw
Yeah, the
country kind
outlaw
of stuff.
country.
Yeah.
And then you were telling me right before this pod that doo-wop as a genre was invented in Pittsburgh.
No way.
Doo-wop
Yeah.
started there. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Also, you know what started there?
What?
Lewis and Clark's expedition, which I always thought that started in St. Louis.
Oh, McKee's Rock.
But yeah, and I guess there's like a big debate of like whether they started in St. Louis or Pittsburgh, but
Who's to
I
say?
think it was Pittsburgh.
There's also a myth that there, or could be true, that there's a Loch Ness monster type in Pittsburgh.
In the rivers.
Yeah. Let me
I
see.
can
I'll
believe
have to
it.
pull it up.
Yeah.
Kyle, who would be your Mount Rushmore of people from Pittsburgh? Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
There's a lot of people. Christina Aguilera, maybe. Andy Warhol, even though I'm not like a fan of his.
The person who invented the Big Mac.
Really?
Yeah, I guess the Big Mac was invented in Pittsburgh.
That's a man invented?
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally occurring.
Yeah, that's
McDonald discovered the Big
man-made,
Mac.
and I guess he had a big burger-shaped swimming pool in his backyard.
Oval-ish circle?
He had a circular swimming pool?
No, it's burger shaped. See what my pool's shaped like? You know who I am?
It's got the highest concentration of documented Sears homes in America.
Oh, yeah, the mail order homes.
Yeah.
The what's that fucking river? The
Monongahela?
Yeah, that one. There's a Loch Ness style creature said to inhabit that river, surfacing only on misty nights or when it's storming.
Monongi. The Loch Ness monster of
Monongi.
Pittsburgh's rivers.
The very first movie theater in America was the Nickelodeon Theater in downtown Pittsburgh.
No, is that still standing? I would love that. That's cool.
Wow.
And so is that where Nickelodeon, the TV network,
I think that
got
just
its
meant
name
like
from?
a quarter show was what that was
A
about.
Nickelodeon?
Oh, that's a word.
Or a nickel show, 5-cent show.
Okay.
Because Odeon means theater, so that makes sense.
The American Zombies started in Pittsburgh because that was the birthplace of the dude George Romeo, who wrote Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I didn't know he was from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think one of the movies was filmed there.
Yeah, the whole genre, like gore movies, was invented there, I believe.
Interesting
Gore is
stuff.
just super violent movies.
Also, you can go to an Airbnb at the Midget Mansion.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
A mansion?
Yeah,
Or a
somewhere in the
house.
Pittsburgh area, there's a mansion built for little people, complete with tiny doors, windows, tiny cookies, and furniture.
Oh,
Why didn't we go there?
yeah, we fucked up.
Damn it.
All right, let's go back.
Yeah. Herschel Gordon Lewis, the godfather of gore, was born in Pittsburgh. Some of his films are Blood Feast 2000 Maniacs, She-Devils on Wheels, and The Wizard of Gore.
I've seen She-Devils on Wheels.
Is it solid?
Top 3 movie I've ever seen.
Wow. I believe you fully.
The other one was the one with
But, like,
2000. Love that. That's number 2.
Gore as a genre must be like gore, like
Yeah.
Like Hostel.
nasty shit. Yeah, right? Like uncomfortable to watch?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Just gratuitous violence. Now, you guys kind of drop a pin on your podcast, too, or at least you were doing it for a while, because each of the episode numbers, you would see what zip code that
area
pertains
code.
to. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do a lot.
The area
Sometimes
code.
nothing. But
Yeah, we're kind of just
Okay.
if there's something interesting, I'll get into it.
Yeah.
right. The one you got me into is Quebec City. That's my number one
it's
place I want to go to now.
gorgeous.
Well, Japan, but then Quebec City.
I've only been to Montreal.
It's
I mean,
similar to Montreal,
Montreal's very cool as well.
but more quaint.
And it's the only walled city in North America.
Yeah,
Oh, sick.
it seems awesome. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, because
to other people.
if you go to Europe, walled cities are a dime a dozen.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
a rarity over here. And then you would always kind of rip on mayors each
For a while.
for a while.
Then
That was just a fit check.
Do you know anything about the 17th mayor of Pittsburgh?
I don't know anything about any of the mayors of Pittsburgh. Who's the 17th?
All I know is that he was decapitated by a train.
Oh shit!
That happens, though.
I mean,
but that
it
almost
used to
has
happen
be
probably a lot more
intentionally,
often.
right? Or
No,
like,
I don't think. Or he just laid
Would
his
he have
head
to
on
be the height
tracks
of the
and
train
committed
for that to
suicide?
happen?
or like something was sticking off of it. Oh man!
Yeah.
If you're just waiting for a train, happen to have
While
if,
he
if
was
you're
mayor?
looking the other way and a train's coming. While he was mayor, I think so. I don't know.
God damn!
Yeah.
How long ago was it? So I can either laugh or cry.
I mean, if he was the
17th mayor.
17th mayor, it was probably a long
Yeah.
time.
By 19 or 1850.
Yeah, that's laughable.
Very close. He was decapitated by a train in 1862.
I'll
So,
count that as a correct answer.
Yeah. Spot on. So yeah, you can laugh about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's still too fresh to me. I
Yeah.
loved that fucker.
Yeah. And then can you guys tell us anything about the banana explosion?
Oh yeah. So it was the material that I think it was the substance that ripens bananas caused the explosion, and yeah, the streets were littered with banana residue.
Yeah, and if you're a slapstick enthusiast, it was a great day. But,
Did some people die?
I think there were deaths. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I was still young.
not as tragic as the great molasses flood in Boston.
Drowning in molasses is my worst
yeah.
nightmare since I
Yeah.
read
in
about
the year
that.
1900. When we drop a pin in Boston, we'll dive deep
That
into
was a genuine tragedy of many deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of molasses.
In the worst way to die possible, like just drowning in molasses. Oh.
yeah, thick
Swan
throat, drowning in
type goop.
thickness.
I guess the banana explosion that would damage the towers on St. Stan's Church. St. Stan is a tough name because it sounds so close to Satan.
Saint
Oh, didn't even
Yeah.
think
Saint
about
Stan.
that.
And who is this? Who is Stan?
I thought Stan
What-
was a modern name.
Well, yeah. And what did he do to become a saint? Saint fucking Stan.
That would be crazy to go up somebody in 1730.
Oh.
like,
Named Stan.
Yeah.
Stanislas was his,
okay.
his full name. Yep. He was Polish, which I'm sure there's a lot of Polish there because you guys love your pierogies in
A lot of
Pittsburgh.
Polish.
Yeah, we had pierogies at the Pirate game.
Yeah, and I won, so you can bet on which pierogi is going to win the race.
Yeah.
At a Pirates game, they always do
Oh,
a pierogi
and a
race.
lot of Bhutanese.
A lot of Bhutanese.
Bhutanese and the Nepalese during like that genocide that they had. Pretty much, they all fled to Pittsburgh.
And the largest Croatian population.
Oh, really?
In the entire U.S., I think.
Man, Pittsburgh slaps. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it used to have a Chinatown, but it really no longer exists. There's just one surviving Chinese restaurant from the old Pittsburgh Chinatown.
Yes, that's welcome to
But the someone who's related to the family that runs the last like surviving Chinese restaurant in Pittsburgh's Chinatown was the voice of Mulan.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow. So they're a very prominent.
Rich in history.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
This
really
was a lot
appreciate
of fun.
it.
I haven't reminisced about rediscovering I since we've done it.
I know. I mean, hey, I'd be happy to bring it back at some point down the line.
I want to come.
Yeah. I would like to just film a one-off rediscovering Wisconsin Dells because you guys have never been.
I've never experienced. I really want to.
It's a very bizarre place. Kind of like putting Bay vibes.
Then I'm out. Then I'm out. Then I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay. Andy's out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Let's do some getting cultured.
Let's do it. Okay, welcome to Getting Cultured. And today we have none other than Frank the Tank. Frank, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Trying to get different things in Chicago for some football, watch some football this weekend.
Nice.
Notre Dame fan.
Notre Dame, yeah.
What do you think? Who's going to win?
I like Notre Dame tonight. I like them. I think Penn State doesn't have the weapons to beat Notre Dame.
Okay. Now, Frank, have you ever left the country before?
I've only been to Canada.
Where in Canada?
Well, I drove from Detroit to Toronto.
Okay.
So, and I went by Niagara Falls, saw that, London, Ontario, did a raw dog in London, Ontario, and I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
How are the hot dogs in Canada?
Yeah, this place was interesting. It was called Frankenfurters, and they actually put gold on one of their hot dogs.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Did you have that one?
Yes.
Nice.
I know Montreal is known for their smoked meats. Their pastrami, corned beef.
Really?
Yeah, like it's kind of like Katz's Deli in New York. They have a lot of those style spots.
They have
up there.
a hot dog brand that's out of Montreal called Desjardins. This was really good. I've never had it, but Desjardins.
Very French.
I heard that they're trying to turn the town of Niagara Falls in Canada into the new Las Vegas. I saw a headline.
I did a summer camp for like 6 weeks in Niagara Falls in Tonawanda, just outside in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that place is an absolute shithole.
Well, the American side of Niagara Falls is terrible.
It's awful. It looks like outside of a military base.
Outside of Niagara, yeah, that's where all the electro plants are. There's nothing on the American side. The Canadian side, they have casinos. They have funplexes. I played mini golf outside of in Niagara Falls in Toronto.
Nice.
In Canada, I should say. Canada, if you want to go to see Niagara Falls, you don't go to you go to Canada. The American side sucks.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Well, do you have any questions for us?
Well, I know you've been around the world. I haven't been that many places. I'm thinking about going to the Olympics next year in Italy. That'll be the first time I go to Europe.
Now, yeah, I've actually been to that part of Italy where they're holding the Olympics. I think the most beautiful place I've been, or the most beautiful mountains I've seen.
Where is it?
It's the Dolomite Mountains. So they're kind of just north of Venice up there. Incredible.
And if we get Rochelle, we'll go from Milan to Minsk.
Milan to Minsk.
Yeah, Rochelle.
Okay.
Rochelle.
All right.
I don't even know what that means.
Seinfeld fans are laughing right now.
Yeah.
It's a Seinfeld
That
reference.
was Elaine Bennis's boyfriend. Wasn't he like a paleontologist?
It's the movie that they keep on. It's like a movie. They go see it in the theaters and they rent a video.
Yeah.
And then they actually have Rochelle the musical with Bette Midler.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm thinking Friends when Phoebe was like dating the dude that used to go to Minsk all the time.
Okay, I don't know if Frank the Tank is a Friends fan.
You a Friends guy?
I watched it for a few years, and I stopped watching it maybe last 4 years or so. We got tired.
Okay.
You used to live in Venice, right? or Florence?
Yeah, I lived in Venice for a year. We'll definitely be dropping a pin there.
Well,
what are some of the things Frank should check out?
I know Jenks has lived in Italy.
Yeah,
Me too.
He lived in Florence, and you lived in Italy?
Sicily.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're gonna be dropping a pin in Sicily too.
Yep.
Oh, Sicily, I had the basis.
Yep. That's exactly. My dad was in the Navy,
Mm-hmm.
so that's how we ended up there.
I
Sigonella.
remember my family's actually great grandparents were from Naples.
Okay.
Naples, and is that where your family was cursed?
I don't know where the curses came from.
Okay.
Will the curse
Fleming
be
curse.
broken if Notre Dame wins a national championship?
Maybe it's taken a hibernation. The Mets actually had a good season, so.
Okay.
What are your power ranks of the teams that you root for?
Right now, I'd probably put the Mets 1, Notre Dame 2, I guess. Devils 3, though they've been kind of sloppy the last couple of weeks. Knicks 4. About a mountain of... Seton Hall won the NIT last year, but they're terrible this year.
Yeah.
And then a mountain of trash, 40 miles of bullshit, hell itself, the carcasses of a million dolphins and the Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Well,
Done with them.
Yeah, that's sad because
They are an organization that has no standards.
That's sad because the last time we were talking, this was a few years ago, you were thinking your first trip abroad might be to Germany to watch the Dolphins play. But now just zero interest. No.
You can't have your abroad trip ruined by the Dolphins.
The Dolphins are retaining their general manager and their coach, and basically they had a press conference the other day saying that what's the point of finding players? They're adults. They know when the meeting is, and just being a few minutes late. And, when you start doing things like that, it breaks down. And, they said that practices rarely start on time for the Dolphins. And it's like players are habitually late. There's, no standards. And Mike McDaniel's basically like, well, what's the point of finding people? What's the point of having discipline?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what you do is you see 8 and 9, and the owner came out and said that he felt they had a great and fine season.
Okay.
Yep. Not so much. What's your favorite city that you've traveled to in the United States?
I like going to Florida, of course, because it's warm, especially when it's weather like this. City I didn't know I was going to like as much as I did was Pittsburgh.
Really?
I liked Pittsburgh.
Same here.
Is nice, a very nice city.
It's very cool. It's at the confluence of 3 rivers.
I haven't been to Pittsburgh.
And it's surrounded by mountains. They're kind of like hills, large hills.
LA's a shithole. I mean, the traffic is just so bad. It's ridiculous. I woke up for a 5:30 flight. I woke up for a 10 o'clock flight at 5:30 and barely made it.
Jeez. Let's do this instead. Your least favorite city you've traveled to.
Oakland.
Okay. I don't really think I've been there.
That is, it's depressing.
Oh, did you go to the Coliseum?
Yes.
That's a piece of shit.
There are no good guys in that situation. I went to, obviously not going to play there anymore, and I took the BART in from San Francisco, and I actually stayed at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, went to a Giants game, and so my experience in San Francisco wasn't bad. I know there's parts of San Francisco that are kind of deteriorated over the last few years, but my experience in San Francisco was nice. I took a trolley car, I took the cable car, and I like San Francisco from what I saw.
That's the thing, yeah. I mean, I would say San Francisco is one of the most beautiful cities in the country. Just
incredible.
Been kind of run down lately.
The homeless people are kind of out of control.
And then, it's 10 times worse than Oakland. And I took the BART from San Francisco over to Oakland, and as soon as you get above ground, you just see buildings crumbling. You see garbage piled high. You have homeless encampments out everywhere. Outside of the Giants' beautiful ballpark is a marina. And it's right on the cove, and that's beautiful. In Oakland, they have a homeless encampment outside the fence, and the entire stadium is fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you walk from the BART to the Coliseum, and it's got barbed razor wire over this land bridge. It almost looks like a prison that you're walking into. It's like a concrete, just like... And Oakland doesn't have the money to build them a ballpark. And that's the only way they would have ever been able to save the Oakland A's, is to build a new ballpark, because they destroyed that stadium when they expanded it for football. And the whole city is just crumbling around it.
Well, this is going to be interesting because we're going to have Gruden on to do Drop a Pin in Oakland at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's depressing what's happening. That happened to an American city is someone just failed.
Yeah. Almost like old school Detroit.
Yeah, I've been to Detroit, the Greektown area of Detroit. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Been to Cleveland. Cleveland's Cleveland.
Cleveland's Cleveland.
Boston. Been to a lot of major cities.
You've probably traveled more in the last 2 or 3 years than you have
any time
ever.
in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've probably been to more states in the U.S. than me.
I've been to 43.
Wow.
Yeah, that's more than me for sure.
The 7 I haven't been to, and I want to get to all of them eventually. Minnesota, the Dakotas, obviously Alaska, Hawaii, Washington, and Oregon.
Yeah, Washington and Oregon are
I love Washington
high on the
State.
list. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest.
That's my number one inside the United States golf trip I want to go to is Washington State.
And I've been to Idaho a lot.
That's where your family's from, right?
That's where they live now.
Okay.
My mother's side of the family's from out there.
Isn't there like a park that you go to there called like Beaver something?
Beaver Dick Park.
Beaver Dick Park.
In Rexburg, Idaho.
Okay.
I was there on Christmas Eve.
All right.
There's nothing like spending Christmas in Beaver Dick.
In Beaver Dick Park. I have to say, Frank, when you go back to Idaho, you've posted photos. It looks like a pretty depressing place.
There's nothing around you. Nothing.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit better in the summer.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
I'm sure there are nice parts of that state, but wherever you are looks rough.
You could on a clear day you could see the Teton Mountains.
Oh, nice.
And mountain lions. There's a lot of mountain lions in Idaho.
Sweet.
It's eastern Idaho though. It's desolate. It's desolate. It's. I walked around my parents where they live, and it's rural Idaho, and nothing out there.
If I gave you, let's say I gave you $10,000 and I said, Frank, you can design any vacation you want anywhere in the world, where are you going?
Definitely not Idaho. $10,000, I haven't been there yet. It's one of the states I haven't been to, and especially with how cold it's been lately. Get me a lei, give me the hula skirt and that, and I'm gonna go to a luau. I'm going to Hawaii.
Man, Frank Walks Maui would be incredible.
Yeah. I want to get to Hawaii. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about Hawaii right now, and it's been so cold, and I had to get these special gloves, and when you're walking every day, and that wind, when the wind hits you, that's when when you feel like quitting, and you got to try to fight through it, and it's tough. And I walked through snow the other day, and it was slippery, and then I had to go. Said, okay, I don't want to fall, so I'm going to go walk around Macy's.
Hey, as long as you're getting the 10,000 steps.
Did you know that there's underground tunnels in Chicago that start in some hotels, and you can go all the way to Millennium Park underground, where you don't have to walk in the cold?
Did not know that.
I just saw a TikTok about it the other day where a woman was going, and there's all kinds of places to walk underground,
right,
and there's
great.
like corridors and shopping and all kinds of shit underneath there.
All right, so Frank, I actually had you on my first rendition of Getting Cultured when I was doing the podcast World Still Spinning. I think we only put out 4 episodes, and like we're doing now, I asked you to think of some questions, and your questions were, number 1, why is it Trinidad and Tobago? like why are they just one country? And I think that's because they were united under British rule, and they just stayed united as one unit. And then your other question was, why does Papua New Guinea look like a brontosaurus?
Yes.
And I did not have a good answer for that. That's just geology, I guess. But can you think of a new question for us?
Why is the island of Hispaniola split between two countries and two like completely different countries? Like Haiti is a mess where there's nothing going on in Haiti, but on the other side is, I mean, they have their issues, but it's a tropical paradise in the Dominican Republic.
Very good question.
Yeah, Dominican Republic is, I think, one style of government.
Well, it all goes back to historically where the Spanish were the first people to discover Hispaniola. I think they claimed the entire island, but it was too big that they didn't have colonies set up in all of it. And then the French showed up. And I guess that side where they visited, there weren't a lot of Spanish. So they were just like, we're just going to claim this side of the island and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they fought like some skirmishes, but they were able to just lay claim. So you had Haiti as a French colony, and then the other side, which was a Spanish colony, and it stayed like that. And then there was a slave revolt in Haiti. I think the only successful slave revolt in history. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you why Haiti has the problems it does, but it's rough. That's probably top 3 places in the world I wouldn't want to go.
Here's one that's been in the news lately. Greenland about to become probably a U.S. territory.
Now, do you think like there's a chance that actually happens?
Canada and Mexico, you could joke around about it all you want.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No.
I think Greenland's going to happen.
I mean, I think the way that global warming is going, Greenland's only going to become a nicer and nicer spot. It wouldn't be the worst territory to acquire.
I don't think there's a snowball chance in hell.
I don't know. I don't know if Denmark even wants it.
Oh, they definitely do. It's like the reasons why are the same reasons why we do. It's like mineral rich. There's all kinds of. They think that there'll be tons and tons of oil. Like whenever you're drilling there, there's no way they give that up.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's a good chance that Greenland's a U.S. territory.
What price do you put on it? Like if we did Louisiana Purchase style, what do you think it goes for?
Probably a couple of billion.
I think it'd be $200 billion.
Yeah, a couple billion seems like a steal these days.
Oh, for sure.
As we were talking about, that one guy's house in India is worth $4.5 billion.
Cowboy Stadium's worth like 10.
Okay, yes, you're going to buy one of the largest islands on the earth for less than the Cowboy Stadium.
I think it's at least a 50-50 chance of happening.
All right,
you heard it here first.
If it happens, me and you, Greenland, to go walk it.
Actually, I think I learned that maybe the airports in New York are now offering nonstop flights to Greenland.
Really?
Yeah.
The settlements there are so small, though.
So small. I don't know if there's like a ton to do, but you can now fly there.
Or you could pretend you're in Greenland and just go to Rexburg, Idaho.
True. Yeah. Desolate no matter what.
I mean,
I think we should like all agree to give Greenland back to Norway because it was the Norwegian Vikings that first discovered it and settled it.
Yeah, well, they discovered Iceland, they discovered Greenland, and they discovered Newfoundland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it is. The U.S. is finally getting a direct flight to Greenland. Let's go. So
what city?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. But from Newark, which is right near your house. Newark Airport is going to fly to Nuuk, N-U-U-K, twice per week.
We think that's a 5-hour flight?
Newark to Nuuk.
4 hours, you think?
I don't know how long, but I know the flights are limited to only 4.5 months of the year. But yeah, it sounds like a 4-hour flight.
Newark to Nuuk.
Yeah. Newark to Nuuk.
Well, a couple years ago, Newark tried to become a sister city to a fake country.
I did. I did see that.
And I remember going to. They actually put the flag of this fake nation on the front of the city hall.
Okay, not the brightest leadership over there?
I mean, did anyone at the mayor's office have Google? That this country, and it's basically like a fake island run by a guy that's a wanted criminal from India, claiming that this fake island is a country, that it's a sovereign country that no country in the world recognizes as official. And the guy's like a big con man who, well, he got Newark.
Yeah. If you're going to scam one city in the U.S., you got to go Newark.
All right, Frank. Well, thank you so much for coming on Getting Culture, man. We appreciate it.
See you later.
See you later.